When an alien armada was about to fall, humanity came to their aid. HFY far in the far reaches of space, a great armada of alien ships drifted through the black void. Smoke and fire trailed behind many of the ships. Explosions rocked the fleet as enemy beams struck one vessel after another. The alien armada was in trouble. They had fought long and hard against the Dravok Empire, a ruthless enemy with ships far stronger and weapons far deadlier than anything the Alliance had ever seen. Now, they were on the verge of total destruction. Admiral Lena Ward stood on the bridge of the command ship, her eyes scanning the view screen that showed the burning remains of her fleet. Her body was tense. Every explosion that flashed across the screen made her stomach turn. She had fought many battles, but this was the worst she had ever seen. Her fleet was damaged, their shields weak, and they were running out of fuel. The Dravok ships were advancing with brutal efficiency, cutting down any vessel in their path. "Status report," Lena said, her voice calm but firm. Captain Ryan Cole, her second-in-command, quickly moved to her side. "Admiral, shields are at 20%. Engines on most ships are failing. We can hold for maybe another hour if the Dravaks don't increase their fire." Lena's eyes narrowed. An hour was not enough. Not nearly enough. She had to think fast. "Have we tried contacting any other fleets in nearby systems?" she asked. Ryan shook his head. "We sent signals, but no one is answering. It is as we feared. No one dares enter this sector. We are alone." Lena's hands tightened on the rail in front of her. "We may be alone, but we cannot give up. Prepare to send a distress signal. Maybe someone will hear it. Even if they don't, we have to try," the officers around them murmured. Some were doubtful. Many species in the Alliance had given up hope long ago. They believed no help would come, not from the stars, not from anyone. But Lena did not let doubt rule her. She gave the order, and the fleet's communications teams began sending out an emergency message. The signal was weak, almost fading into the vastness of space, but it carried everything: the coordinates, the fleet's status, the call for immediate assistance. It traveled far, far away into the dark, empty reaches beyond the Armada's known space. As the signal pulsed into the void, Lena and Ryan watched their fleet struggle. Small ships were being torn apart by Dravok fire. One transport exploded, sending debris spinning into the emptiness. Rescue teams tried to reach survivors, but many could not make it in time. A young officer named Ella Grant rushed to Lena. "Admiral, the Dravok are closing in on the capital ship. We may lose it soon." Lena's heart sank. Losing the capital ship would mean the end of their command structure. Chaos would follow. But she could not panic. "Keep the formation tight. Focus all remaining shields on the command vessel. We protect it at all costs." Ryan leaned closer. "Admiral, if we lose the ship, our fleet falls apart. We need a miracle, and fast." Lena looked out at the stars, a million points of light, each one distant, unreachable. She whispered quietly to herself, "Please, someone hear us." Hours passed. The Dravok ships moved with ruthless precision. One by one, Alliance vessels were destroyed. Lena could hear the quiet hum of the remaining ships and the occasional alert of a destroyed vessel. Her officers were tense, their faces pale under the red emergency lights. Then, suddenly, sensors aboard the command ship detected something unusual. A signal appeared on the long-range scanners, fast approaching the battle zone. It was not a Dravok signature. It did not match any Alliance design either. Lena raised an eyebrow. "Captain! Identify the incoming fleet!" she ordered. Ryan studied the readings. "It is unfamiliar, Admiral. The design is strange. It is not like anything we know. They are approaching at high speed." Lena's stomach twisted with both hope and fear. Could it be help? Or was it something worse? The new fleet emerged from the dark like a small cluster of stars moving with purpose. Their ships were simple in design, not flashy or heavily armored like the Dravok. But there was a strange energy around them, something that made the Dravok ships slow down for a moment. On the main screen, Lena saw the new ships moving directly toward her fleet, between the Dravok and the weakened Alliance vessels. She could hardly believe her eyes. The new ships were acting as shields. They were risking themselves to protect the Alliance Armada. A message appeared on the communications channel. A calm, clear voice spoke in a language that was translated instantly by the Alliance systems. "This is Commander Jake Morris of Earth. We received your distress signal. We are here to help. Stand back and let us engage the enemy." The bridge went silent. Lena's jaw dropped. Humans? From Earth? She had heard of them, a minor species in the galaxy, known to be curious but weak. No one thought humans were warriors. Yet here they were, coming into a war zone uninvited, confident and fearless. Ryan looked at her, wide-eyed.
Admiral, they are humans.
"Are they really going to fight?" Lena nodded slowly.
It seems we have found help when none was expected. Prepare the fleet.
"We follow their lead. If they are willing to fight, we must support them." The Dravik noticed the newcomers immediately. Their commanders laughed at first. "Small, insignificant ships," one said. "We will destroy them before they can interfere." But the humans did not flee. Instead, they positioned themselves between the Dravok and the Alliance. Beams of light and bursts of energy shot from their ships with deadly accuracy. They moved quickly, dodging the enemy's attacks, striking back with precision. Every Dravok ship that came near suffered damage. Lena watched in disbelief as human ships blocked attacks and shielded her vessels. Young pilot Mike Harrison maneuvered his ship around debris, pulling injured alien crews aboard with speed and care. Another pilot, Nina Hall, targeted enemy ships with incredible skill, even taking on larger Dravok vessels head-on. "Unbelievable," Ryan muttered. "They are holding the line, better than we ever could." Lena's eyes glistened. She had never seen such courage. She felt a strange warmth in her chest. The humans were not just fighting. They were protecting strangers, risking everything for lives they had never met. As the battle raged, explosions rocked the area, but the humans continued their assault. They fought in ways that were strange to the Alliance. They did not seem afraid. They did not retreat when the odds were against them. Instead, they used clever tactics, moving fast, attacking from unexpected angles, and shielding those in danger. A large Dravok warship fired a massive beam toward the Alliance flagship. Lena froze, expecting destruction, but a human ship, smaller but stronger than it looked, charged straight at the beam. With an explosion of light, the human ship absorbed the attack, protecting the Alliance command ship. The Dravok were stunned, unsure of what to do next. Lena looked at the view screen, her hands trembling slightly. "We are alive because of them. All of this, we owe it to the humans." Ryan placed a hand on her shoulder. "Admiral, they may be small, but their courage is beyond anything we have seen. If they are willing to fight for us, we have a chance." The Dravok were not yet defeated. They regrouped and prepared to strike again. But now, the Alliance ships had a new hope. For the first time in hours, Lena felt the possibility of survival. The humans were here, unexpected but powerful, and their arrival had changed everything. Even though the battle was far from over, Lena could see that the tide had shifted. The humans had entered the fight, and the Draven would now face a challenge they had never imagined. The Alliance Armada, battered and broken, began to move with renewed purpose. Inspired by the bravery of the human ships, the first day of battle was ending, but the sky was alive with energy and light. Lena knew the war was far from finished, but for the first time, she dared to hope. Help had arrived, and it had come from the most unlikely place in the galaxy. Humanity had come, and the Armada might yet survive. The humans moved like nothing the alien Armada had ever seen. Their ships were small and simple, but every move they made was calculated and fast. They did not fight like the Alliance. They did not stay in formation or rely on heavy shields. They moved freely, weaving in and out of danger, striking at the enemy at the right moment. Admiral Lena Ward could hardly believe what she saw. Her own fleet had never fought like this. The humans were taking risks that seemed impossible, yet they never hesitated. Every time a Dravok ship fired a powerful beam, a human ship appeared in its path to block it. Every time an Alliance ship was about to be destroyed, a human ship was there to protect it. Captain Ryan Cole watched the humans closely. "They are not just fighters," he said. "They are protectors. They care about saving lives, not just winning battles." Lena nodded. "We have never seen anything like it. We are learning from them even as we fight." The Drabok, however, were growing furious. Their commanders had expected an easy victory. They had believed the humans were weak and unprepared, but the humans were proving to be stronger and smarter than they had imagined. One of the Drabok warships fired a massive energy beam aimed directly at the center of the Alliance fleet. The beam was huge and deadly. It would have destroyed the fleet instantly if it hit. But then a small human cruiser, piloted by a young man named Ethan Price, flew straight into the beam. His ship was hit, shivering under the energy, but it held. Another human ship quickly came alongside, shielding Ethan's ship from further attacks. Together, they redirected the beam away from the Alliance ships. Lena felt a lump in her throat. These humans were risking their lives for strangers, for aliens they had never met. She had seen brave soldiers before, but nothing like this. Meanwhile, the Draven tried a different approach. A squadron of their fast fighters circled around the human ships, hoping to trap them. But the humans were ready. Maya Brooks, a skilled human pilot, anticipated the trap. She led her small group of ships in a series of quick turns and maneuvers. The Drabok fighters collided with each other as they tried to follow, and several were destroyed. "On the Alliance command ship," Lena whispered, "they are teaching us how to fight and survive." Ryan added, "We have fought many wars, but we have never seen strategy like this. Humans are different." As the battle continued, the humans did something unexpected. They began rescuing alien crews from destroyed ships. They flew into dangerous zones, often under heavy fire, and picked up survivors. Nina Hall guided her ship through a field of burning debris, pulling injured aliens into safety. Mike Harrison and his team worked the same way, carrying as many as they could. The aliens were amazed. Many had never seen such kindness and courage. Some species in the Alliance had once thought humans were weak and insignificant. Now, they were seeing humans as heroes. The Drabok were growing desperate. Their super-heavy ships, each larger than a small moon, tried to crush the humans. One of these massive warships fired a long-range missile capable of destroying dozens of ships at once. Ethan's cruiser was closest to the missile. He could have tried to escape, but he did not. He flew straight at the missile, using a special energy shield to absorb the blast. The missile exploded safely in space, leaving the Alliance ships untouched, but Ethan's ship was heavily damaged. Lena watched the destruction and felt her heart race. "We are still alive because of them," she said. She realized the humans were willing to give everything to protect her fleet.
Ryan was tense. "They may be strong, but they are few."
"The Draven numbers are still much greater. We cannot rely on humans alone." Lena nodded, but she also knew something else. "We can fight together. Humans are showing us the way." The Drabok realized they had underestimated these humans. They regrouped, sending their largest fleet to attack directly. They believed that overwhelming force would finally destroy the newcomers, but the humans had a plan. Commander Jake Morris directed his fleet with incredible skill. He divided his ships into groups, each assigned a special task. Some protected Alliance vessels. Some attacked the Drabok directly. Others moved through dangerous areas to set traps and create confusion. The battle became chaotic. Explosions and fire filled the empty black of space. Alien ships collided, missiles streaked across the void, and beams of energy cut through the darkness. The Alliance crews fought with renewed courage, inspired by the humans. Even those who had been terrified moments before now found hope. A large Drabok warship the size of a small planet prepared to fire a massive energy cannon capable of destroying dozens of ships at once. Lena could see it charging on the view screen. Panic spread across the command ship. Jake Morris's ship moved into position. He was in a small cruiser, not heavily armored, but fast and precise. His ship dodged the initial shots from Drabok escorts and positioned itself directly in front of the massive warship. "Hold steady," Jake said calmly over the communications channel. We will stop this now. Ethan and Maya, along with other human pilots, followed his lead. They coordinated their attacks perfectly, moving around the massive ship and striking its weak points. The Draven warship tried to fire its super cannon, but the humans struck its energy core directly. In a massive explosion, the cannon was destroyed before it could fire. The Alliance crews cheered. For the first time, they could see the Dravok being pushed back. They were not invincible. Humans, few in number and seemingly simple, were making a difference. Lena turned to Ryan. We may survive this war after all. Humans are changing everything. The Dravok were furious. Their ships had been destroyed in ways they could not understand. Their plans were failing. For the first time, they felt fear. Fear of humans. Fear of what they could do. The humans continued their assault. Every attack was precise, every move protective. They used intelligence and courage in a way no alien species had ever done before. Even when their ships were damaged, they did not retreat. They kept fighting, kept shielding others, and kept striking at the enemy's weak points. Lena realized something very important. Humans were not just fighters. They were a force of hope. They could inspire others to fight, to survive, and to protect. She had never seen anything like this in all her years of service. As the battle raged on, Lena knew that her fleet had been given a second chance. Without the humans, almost all her ships would have been destroyed. Now, because of their courage and skill, the Alliance Armada could regroup, repair, and fight another day. Brian spoke quietly. They are teaching us the value of courage, of selflessness. We must learn from them. Lena nodded. And we will. The humans are showing us that even when all seems lost, there is a way to survive and to win. The first day of the battle had ended with the Alliance still in chaos but alive. Many ships were damaged or destroyed, but the fleet had not fallen. And the humans had proven themselves beyond doubt. They were not weak. They were not insignificant. They were warriors, protectors, and heroes. Admiral Lena looked at the humans on the view screen, her eyes shining. This is just the beginning, she said. If we survive today, it will be because of them. Humanity has arrived, and the galaxy will never be the same. The night passed slowly. The battlefield quiet for a short time as both sides regrouped. Fire still burned on some ships, but hope had returned. The Alliance crews worked tirelessly to repair shields, rescue survivors, and prepare for the next wave of attacks. Lena knew the war was far from over. The Dravok were strong, and the humans were few. But she also knew this. With humans fighting alongside them, they now had a chance. A real chance. And that was something the Alliance had not felt in a long, long time. The battle had been raging for hours. The Alliance fleet, battered and broken, was still alive, thanks to the humans. Every crew member on every ship was exhausted. Shields were low, weapons were damaged, and fuel was almost gone. Yet, they had hope now. Humans were in the fight, and humans never gave up. Admiral Lena Ward watched the view screen as human ships moved with precision. They did not fight like the Alliance or the Dravos Rekar. Their tactics were strange but effective. Humans used small, fast ships to distract the enemy, while others attacked weak points. They worked together, but each pilot also acted with freedom and creativity. No alien species had ever fought like this. Captain Ryan Cole leaned over Lena's shoulder. They are amazing. They do not just fight. They think, adapt, and protect. Look at them. Lena nodded, her eyes fixed on the screen. A group of human ships had surrounded a Dravok cruiser. The cruiser fired a beam that could have destroyed 3 ships at once, but the humans dodged it easily. One ship flew straight into the beam, absorbing some of the energy, while others attacked the cruiser's engines. In moments, the massive Dravok ship slowed and drifted, unable to fight effectively. On one of the human ships, pilot Maya Brooks guided her vessel through a field of debris. Pieces of destroyed ships floated everywhere, creating deadly obstacles. She moved carefully but fast, picking up survivors from a destroyed alien transport. Her small ship was damaged, but she ignored it. Lives were more important than her ship. Beside her, Ethan Price led a group of human fighters in a daring plan. They aimed to strike the Dravok command ship, the largest and most heavily armed vessel in the enemy fleet. The command ship controlled the Dravok strategy, and if it was destroyed, the rest of the Dravok would become disorganized. Jake Morris and his lead cruiser spoke calmly over the communication channel. "We will hit the command ship now. Follow my lead and stay focused. Protect each other and protect the Alliance ships around us."
The humans moved in perfect coordination. Small human ships flew close to the command ship, dodging fire from all directions.
Larger human ships targeted the Dravok weapons and shields. The Alliance fleet watched in amazement as humans worked together to break the strongest enemy ship in the galaxy. Admiral Lena felt a mix of fear and hope. If the humans failed, the Draven would destroy the Alliance completely. But if they succeeded, the war could turn. Every human pilot risked their life for strangers, showing courage the galaxy had never seen before. One human ship, piloted by Nina Hall, flew straight into the command ship's fire zone to disable its energy shields. Lasers struck her ship, tearing off parts of the hull. She did not hesitate. Another ship joined her, and together they weakened the command ship's defenses. "Shields are down!" Ethan shouted over the channel. "Target its weapons and engines now." The human fleet attacked with everything they had. Missiles, beams, and energy pulses struck the Dravok command ship at the same time. Explosions rocked the massive vessel. It could not respond effectively. Smaller Dravok ships tried to protect it, but humans and Alliance ships worked together to destroy them one by one. Captain Ryan Cole turned to Lena. "They are not just strong. They are fearless. Look at how they fight." Lena nodded. "They fight not for glory, not for power. They fight to protect. That is why they are stronger than anyone else here." On the command bridge of the Dravok fleet, panic had begun. The command ship was heavily damaged, and the humans were relentless. "Attack them harder!" a Dravok officer shouted. "Destroy them before they destroy us!" But it was too late. The humans were not afraid. Even as enemy fire struck, they continued to press forward. Maya Brooks flew her damaged ship into a group of enemy fighters, destroying two before her ship took heavy hits. She was pulled back to safety by another human ship. Ethan and his team moved in for the final strike. The command ship's engines were exposed, and its weapons were mostly offline. A coordinated human attack broke the ship in half. Explosion shook the area. Debris from the command ship floated across space, and the Dravok fleet lost all organization. The Alliance fleet cheered. For the first time, they saw the Dravok retreating. Humans had turned the tide of the battle. Lena's heart swelled with pride and gratitude. "Humans are incredible," she whispered. "They have saved us all," Ryan smiled. "Incredible is not enough. They have changed the rules of war. We have never seen anything like this." The battle was not over, but the Dravok were no longer unstoppable. Their fleet was disorganized, their weapons damaged, and their confidence shaken. Humans continued to protect Alliance ships while attacking weak points in the Dravok lines. In one daring move, Jake Morris led a small human squadron into the heart of the Dravok formation. They targeted enemy supply ships and energy cores, hitting critical points that caused confusion. Explosions erupted across the Dravok fleet, and many ships were forced to retreat. Lena watched in awe. They are not just fighting. They are teaching us how to fight and survive. Ryan added, "They are showing courage, strategy, and heart. We need to remember this, learn from them." The galaxy will never be the same after today. Amid the chaos, humans rescued as many alien crews as possible. Maya, Nina, Ethan, and others flew through burning wreckage to save the injured. Human ships carried dozens of survivors at a time, showing care and bravery. Many alien species had never experienced such kindness and courage. Even the smallest Alliance ships, once nearly useless in battle, now had a chance to survive. Humans had shown them how to fight and how to protect each other. The Alliance fleet began to repair their shields and weapons with renewed hope.
The Dravok commanders realized they had underestimated the humans. They had expected weak, insignificant ships,
Now they were facing fearsome opponents who refused to give up and who fought not just for themselves but for everyone around them. A massive Dravok cruiser tried to escape, hoping to regroup. Jake Morris ordered a pursuit. Ethan, Maya, and Nina chased the cruiser, working together to disable its engines. In a final coordinated strike, the cruiser was destroyed. Admiral Lena could hardly speak. This is unbelievable. Humans are rewriting the rules of war. Ryan nodded. And they are doing it with courage and care. That is why they are strong. Even as the battle continued, humans never stopped protecting the Alliance. They moved between ships, shielding damaged vessels, and striking at the enemy with perfect timing. They showed the Alliance something it had forgotten, that courage, skill, and selflessness were stronger than any weapon. The Dravak were now retreating. Their fleet was broken, their command structure destroyed, and their morale shattered. For the first time in centuries, they faced defeat at the hands of humans. Lena turned to Ryan. "We may survive this war. Humans are giving us a chance. We must not waste it." Ryan smiled, exhausted but relieved. They are few, but they are unstoppable when they fight for others. The humans continued their work, rescuing survivors and guiding Alliance ships to safety. They coordinated attacks, blocked enemy fire, and repaired damaged systems. Every move they made was precise, smart, and brave. Lena felt a deep respect for them. She had seen heroes before, but nothing like this. Humans were not just warriors, they were protectors, teachers, and saviors. As the battle ended for the day, the Alliance fleet, though damaged, had survived. Many ships were broken, but many lives had been saved. The humans had shown that even the smallest forces could change the course of war with courage, skill, and heart. Lena turned to her officers. "Remember this day. Remember how humans fought for us when all seemed lost. This is a lesson we must never forget." Ryan nodded. "The galaxy will remember them, Admiral. They are not just humans. They are legends." The night fell across the battlefield. Fires burned in space, debris floated across the void, and the Alliance ships began repairs. Humans continued their work, moving among the survivors, guiding the fleet, and preparing for the next day. Lena watched from her bridge, exhausted but hopeful. She knew the Dravok would not give up easily, but she also knew something else. With humans fighting beside them, the Alliance had a real chance. The courage of a few humans had changed everything. They had turned defeat into hope, chaos into strategy, and fear into inspiration. Admiral Lena whispered quietly, "The galaxy will never be the same. Humanity has arrived." The battlefield was quiet now, but the tension in space was heavy. Fire still burned on destroyed ships, and smoke trailed from damaged engines. The Dravok fleet had retreated, but they were far from gone. They would regroup, and their hatred for the humans had only grown. Yet the Alliance Armada, battered and broken, still survived. For the first time, hope had returned. Admiral Lena Ward looked at the human ships floating among her fleet. They were small, many damaged, some barely holding together. Yet they had fought with courage and skill beyond anything she had ever seen. They had saved the Alliance Armada, and in doing so they had earned respect and admiration across the galaxy. Jake Morris's voice came over the communication channel, calm as ever. "Admiral, we will stay with your fleet until repairs are complete. Then we return home. But for now, our priority is your crew and your ships."
Lena nodded. "Thank you, Commander Morris."
"We owe you our lives and our fleet. You have done more than anyone could have imagined." Ryan Cole approached Lena. "They do not seek recognition, Admiral. They only fight to protect. That is why they are stronger than any other species we know." Lena looked out at the human ships as crews worked tirelessly to repair Alliance vessels. Small human crafts carried alien survivors from damaged ships. Larger vessels guided Alliance cruisers through the wreckage fields. Every move they made was careful, precise, and full of purpose. Among the human pilots, Maya Brooks and Ethan Price worked together to rescue the injured.
"We have to get them to the medical ships," Maya said.
"Some won't survive without immediate care," Ethan nodded. Then we keep moving. We cannot leave anyone behind.
Even as the humans worked, Dravok ships began to reappear on the scanners.
They had retreated earlier to regroup, but now they returned with fewer numbers and damaged vessels of their own. Their commanders were furious at the humans who had humiliated them and destroyed their command ship. Jake Morris assessed the incoming ships. They are back, but disorganized. If we strike smartly, we can finish this before they regroup fully. Lena watched as humans prepared for another battle. She had no idea how so few ships could face so many enemies. Yet she had faith. Humans had shown her that courage, strategy, and selflessness could overcome numbers and strength. The humans struck first. Small human ships darted around the enemy, drawing fire and creating confusion. Larger ships targeted key points, engines, shields, and weapons. The Dravok had expected an easy revenge, but instead, they were being cut down again with precision. A young human pilot, Claire Williams, flew close to a damaged Dravok cruiser. She fired a missile directly at the engine core. The cruiser exploded, sending debris across the void. Nearby Dravok ships hesitated, unsure of what to do. Humans were unpredictable, fearless, and precise. Meanwhile, Ethan and Maya led another squadron against the Dravok supply ships. Destroying them would cripple the enemy fleet's ability to fight long-term. They moved quickly, dodging enemy fire, and each strike was deadly. The Dravok supply line collapsed, leaving their ships struggling to maintain formation.
Admiral Lena turned to Ryan, astonished. They are not just fighting.
They are ending the war before it can continue. Humans think differently. They do not rely on power alone. They use their minds and hearts. Ryan nodded. It is unlike anything we have ever seen. Every move they make is calculated, yet brave. They fight for everyone, not just themselves.
The Dravok commanders grew desperate. They realized their fleet was broken, their strategy failing, and their forces scattered.
They tried to retreat again, but the humans anticipated it. Jake Morris ordered a coordinated strike on the largest remaining Dravok ships. Beams, missiles, and energy blasts tore through their lines. Explosions lit up the darkness, and the Dravok ships began to break apart. One Dravok battleship attempted to fire a massive superweapon capable of destroying dozens of human ships at once. Maya and Ethan moved in, coordinating an attack on its energy core. Missiles struck simultaneously from different angles. The core exploded before the weapon could fire. The battleship was destroyed, leaving the Dravok fleet in chaos. On the Alliance flagship, Lena watched in disbelief.
They are finishing the fight for us.
For everyone, Ryan added quietly. They fight for what is right, Admiral. That is why they are unstoppable. Even as the Dravok tried to retreat, the humans did not relent. They moved through the wreckage, guiding Alliance ships to safety, rescuing the injured and targeting stragglers. Every Dravok ship destroyed was a step closer to ending the threat completely. In one daring move, Jake Morris led his lead cruiser directly into the center of the enemy fleet. Smaller human ships followed closely, creating chaos. Dravok ships collided, misfired, and retreated in disorder. Within moments, the remaining Dravok ships had either been destroyed or fled, leaving the galaxy safe. For now. Lena turned to Ryan, a smile forming despite the exhaustion. The humans have done it. The Dravok are gone. They saved our fleet, and maybe the galaxy itself. Ryan nodded, and they did it without fear, without hesitation, without asking for anything in return. That is what makes them different. That is what makes them human.
On the battlefield, human ships began to regroup. Damaged vessels were repaired quickly, thanks to efficient coordination.
Alien survivors were treated with care, and even small victories were celebrated. The Alliance fleet, though damaged, was alive and filled with hope. Jake Morris spoke over the channel to Lena. We have done what we can here. Your fleet is safe. The Dravok are retreating. We will stay until you are fully operational. Then we return to Earth. Lena replied, her voice steady but emotional. You have done more than that, Commander. You have given us hope. You have shown us courage. You have changed the galaxy. Ryan watched as the humans worked. Even in victory, they cared for others. They repaired ships, rescued crews, and protected the weak. Lena's words echoed in his mind. Humans were not just warriors, they were protectors, leaders, and teachers. The Alliance crews looked at the humans with awe. Many species who had once thought humans were weak now realized the truth. But humans were strong, brave, and willing to risk everything for others. Their actions would be remembered for generations. As repairs were completed, Lena walked onto the deck of one of the human ships. Jake Morris greeted her. "Welcome aboard, Admiral. We are glad to see your fleet safe." Lena shook his hand firmly. "Thank you, Commander. You and your people have done more than anyone could imagine. You have saved lives, saved our fleet, and taught us what courage truly is." Jake nodded calmly. "We only did what we had to do. No one should face death alone, Admiral. We fight for those who cannot fight for themselves." Lena looked around at the human crew, tired, wounded, but smiling. Their eyes showed determination and kindness. She realized that humans were more than soldiers. They were heroes in every sense. Back in the Alliance fleet, ships began to move together in formation once more. Though damaged, they were alive. For the first time in years, the Alliance felt hope. They had survived a war they were certain they would lose, and it was because of humans. Jake Morris gathered his pilots. "We have done all we can here. Prepare to return home. Remember, courage is not measured by size or strength. It is measured by the heart. Humans fight for others, and that is why we are strong." The pilots nodded, proud of what they had accomplished. They had changed the course of a war, saved countless lives, and earned the respect of a galaxy that had once doubted them. Admiral Lena watched the human ships leave. She felt a mix of gratitude and awe. The galaxy has seen them. We have learned from them. Humanity will never be forgotten. Ryan smiled. "We have learned something important today, Admiral. Courage, selflessness, and determination can change everything. Humans have proven that." The stars shone quietly over the battlefield. Fires from destroyed ships slowly faded, and the Alliance fleet moved steadily toward safe space. The Dravok were gone, defeated not by sheer numbers but by heart, skill, and bravery. In the years to come, stories of the humans who came to the Armada's aid would spread across the galaxy. They would be remembered not just as warriors, but as heroes who saved a fleet and inspired hope in all who saw them fight. Admiral Lena whispered quietly as the human ships disappeared into the distance. "Thank you, humanity. The galaxy owes you everything." And somewhere, far across the stars, humans returned home. Not for glory or reward, but knowing they had done what was right. They had fought for others, and in doing so had proven that even the smallest species could change the fate of the universe.